What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Lucid, give you a quick overview, some of the data points, break it down on what shorts are up to and where I see things going from here. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Lucid right now is down 4.9%. A little bit of consolidation, especially in Lucid's case, is normal. I think a lot of investors aren't used to Lucid being up 10%. So there is a certain level of profit taking, and plus institutions have been so far selling this morning. 3 transactions on the secondary market above $100,000. So 1.27 million, 1.17 million, and then 186,000. So not the best, but again, I think that's to be expected. Get the paper hands out, and this is how you build a lot of good support. Beside the point, yesterday, which was a phenomenal day for Lucid and just EVs in its entirety, you had a lot of big transactions, a lot of big buys and everything like that. No official news from Lucid itself today. Yesterday they did announce that they're going to be participating in the NASDAQ 51st Investor Conference, and so this is going to be held on December the 11th, so that is tomorrow. But aside from that though, it's just piggybacking off of its own technicals, which aren't all that bad. Again, got to give credit when credit is due. This consolidation I think is somewhat normal for Lucid, but the technicals are still looking pretty a-okay, so I'm going to go over that in a second. Later today though, especially during power hour, anticipate a lot of volatility, not just with Lucid but the broader market, because of good old CPI tomorrow. So that one will have a lot of last minute jitters, paper hands. So just anticipate a lot of volatility in that regard. Shorts right now though are increasing 2.08 million shares. Yesterday they did return roughly around 1.5 million, and my apologies on not giving daily updates. I did pop over to England. I'm sure a lot of you are aware, and now you can see me. I'm back home, which is kind of funny. It would have been nice. I could have tried to sneak into this right here. That would have been very good to know in advance. But beside the point though, shorts generally have been somewhat stagnant, if not returning some shares with Lucid. So kind of a positive thing. Today though, they're really doubling down, so increasing, like I said, a fair share. 24.3% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 289.77 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost per average is 0.94. You do see the minimum as negative once again, so meaning there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Lucid. So I know it's kind of early to already start thinking about potential questions to management from retail for the upcoming Q4 earnings, but just to maybe say, hey, Peter, like coming from a manipulation standpoint, are you aware that there is brokers like paying people to short Lucid? What is your thoughts on that? I think that would be just a very good statement slash question. I'm sure it can be worded better, but still, beside the point, this is a quick update for that. Moving over to options though, factoring in the market's only open 30 minutes so far, 370,000 in calls, 70,000 in puts. 55% of all the options being done though are bearish in nature. Of the call options that are being purchased, you still see a consensus for it to be above $3 and now $3.50. So I think there's just a lot more optimism with Lucid despite the consolidation today, so generally good stuff. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250. So in my opinion, a lot more upside is anticipated. So I think today is just more of a temporary pullback due to its technicals, profit taking and stuff like that. And right now with it at $2.40, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 236 is going to be a strong support that you want to watch for, followed by 217. Next strong resistance slash target points is going to be $2.47 and then 265. And then I'll go over, if it does get closer to that, a little bit higher highs or the next kind of points and targets to watch for. But aside from that, quickly going over here. So on the actual chart, this is why I'm saying, even though consolidation it's undergoing right now, it's still good. And right now it is flirting with that 50-day moving average. And for those of you that have been in Lucid for, I don't know, longer than 6 months, or like a year, you would know that the 50-day moving average is like Lucid's kryptonite. And whenever Lucid does get over that 50-day moving average for 2 consecutive trading days, historically it does go on a 30 to 40% run. So just throwing that out there, you do with that information what you will, but it is flirting with that for the last 2 days, and it hasn't actually even kind of flirted or done anything since the end of September with that. So it's been largely in a very negative downtrend. But as I mentioned in my video, I think 2 days ago, just on some expectations, I'm actually cautiously optimistic, largely because of a lot of the data points as well as technicals. I love technicals, and I don't know if you guys can tell or anything, but MACD on the side note, very bullish. It did successfully stay above the ALMA. Super trend is looking fairly good. So whenever a stock is above that super trend, this is where you have a lot of algorithmic trading buying it. So I think that's also one thing that really propelled it a lot higher yesterday, because that was the first day that it was above that super trend. So showing more of a pivot. But again, some points to watch for: 229, that's the ALMA. If it is able to get above this 50-day moving average, you have that 100 and the 200-day moving average right here. But like I said, generally speaking and historically, every time it's ran up, it just goes up significantly. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. What's your viewpoint? Have you been buying? Have you been selling? I did buy a little bit. Again, not me not doing a lot of videos. I didn't really disclose it or anything like that. But honestly, like just the technicals right here on the December the 6th, it started to look like it really wanted to break out. And I think in general, the fact that shorts weren't really doubling the hell down at that stage, it showed that they had some hesitation, that maybe even they thought potentially it is the bottom. But we've been here before. I think it's now in also Lucid's hands to really say and show us, hey, we have a kick-ass product and a lot of people do want it. Because I think generally a lot of people, like everyone who invests in Lucid, is probably investing because of the like technology. That's myself included. And because in general, I think just the marketing has sucked. Management has made a lot of mistakes, but you cannot argue the fact that their product is like amazing. So I feel like with marketing, a lot of that stuff is fixable. Like you can't fix a crappy product. Well, you could, but it'd be very costly. So enough of me ranting. This is a quick overview of the technicals, what is influencing it today, and everything else that you need to know. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And so stay tuned for more regular Lucid videos, back to the regular scheduled broadcasting and all that fun jazz. Make sure you pop over to my Patreon, where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there, take a look. With that said, appreciate all of you watching.